Hello, I'm back. Excuse my voice. I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice. But I feel inspired to make a really quick PSA, if you will, to corset wearers because for the last 6 months, I've been pretty cheap. Walmart sells these little camis for $1.68 each. And this I would use as a corset liner. I would wear under um, I wear, my bra, put this over it, put the corset over this, and then wear a shirt over it. And that did well for a while. And I think if you're not um, reducing your waist a whole lot, that could work very well. But as I've moved from a 20-inch corset down to an 18-inch corset, I'm finding that the uh, the seam along the inside is very irritating to me, and that there's so much material bunching up that not only is it harder to reduce the waist and cinch smaller, but it does become very uncomfortable to have wrinkled skin or wrinkled fabric up against your skin underneath the corset. So I finally invested in two corset liners from Orchard Corset just because they were $15 each. I haven't tried liners from any other brand, but I finally grew up a little bit and purchased these corset liners. And I mean, it's just very simple tube of, very soft fabric. I really like it. And this has been a game changer, and I wish I would have done this months ago, but I don't feel like I would have really understood or enjoyed how much better this is for tight lacing or waist training when you're really trying to reduce your waist size. There are no seams. There's a seam at the top and a seam at the bottom, but my corsets tend to be much looser there as opposed to, down the sides in the cami. And I had gotten to the point where I would turn my cami inside out so that the seams were facing away from my body. But again, there was still so much extra fabric from the cami that it was becoming a problem. It was really uncomfortable. So I ordered two corset liners, one standard. This is the short standard size. Put it up if you can see it. And a size small, extra small. I almost wish they had like one size smaller because I find this one bunching up in the back by my laces as well. And I bought a long line one, which I didn't think about. I've never had an overbust corset. I don't really, I wear corsets for waist training, so underbust is obviously better for me. And so I have a long line corset because even as a short person at like 5'2", I guess I have a rather long waist. But the long line is for truly someone with like an overbust corset. It's almost a tube top, really, on me. So I do prefer the standard one, but I'm glad I wanted to see the difference in the two. And if I ever get an overbust corset, then I will have a liner to suit it. I don't know how appropriate. As you can see, I'm wearing my green Machance corset. Yeah, I got the laces pulled around front. Oh, and I have the long line corset liner folded over the front. This is my first time putting it on, so I'm still, I've got the bottom kind of loose lacely to sit. I normally, like I've said before, wear my corset while I'm at work, so I don't do a lot of sitting. I do not wear my corset while driving, which is getting more comfortable now that I have a custom fit corset. I can find my range of motion I'm able to eat a little bit more than before. I would not dare to eat in my other corsets, but as this one is suited to my body, I mean, I've heard Lucy from Lucy's Corsetry say, you know, get a custom corset if you can. Um, and again, there's still a place for off the rack corsets, um, because I would never have known in an affordable way if I would have really loved corsetry without having those off the rack corsets to buy, to play with. This is my first custom, so I mean, truly, it is worth every penny, and I've really enjoyed it. And but like I said, I still think that off the rack corsetry is an incredible thing for starting out. But if you find that you love wearing a corset, custom is certainly the way to go. As far as how comfortable it is, I like I said, I've only had this for what, a week? Yeah, just over a week now. So I want to do a video later once I've really got it seasoned well and have been wearing it. But just in the last week, I could tell a huge difference in um, my custom versus off the rack. So, and there's differences between brand to brand. Like I've got my Rebel Madness, Timeless Trends, Orchard Corset. There's differences between all of them, and of course between the different fabrics. And my What Katie did corset, which aside from this one is still my absolute favorite. So, but the crazy thing is I think I spent the same amount on my What Katie did corset as I did, or I paid more for my What Katie did than my custom. But that's not typical, that's not usually the case. So I've been looking at people like Lovely Rat's corsetry, Lucy's corsetry recently has worked with La Atelier de la Fleur, which is a beautiful corseteer from Canada. She's very expensive, but I mean, her work is incredible. So I don't think custom corsetry is a new world and a much more expensive world. Which, wrapping this up, comes back to why I did not purchase corset liners earlier on. But I highly recommend, especially if you're tight lacing, to go ahead, get the liner. It is going to improve your corset wearing experience incredibly. And I would say, so like I'll probably invest in at least 2 more standard size, just so I have like 3 to rotate through during the week. And you know, I don't usually wear my corsets on the weekends, so, well, that depends. But, so yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you for watching. Bye.